You're listening to The Moose and the Loose, your 10 minutes action-packed financial podcast with your host, Mike Yahoo. Hey, what's up, Market Moose? Mike from The Moose on the Loose. I hope you are doing well on this Wednesday. I'm recording this podcast on Tuesday morning as the market opens, and the market is not looking good. The S&P 500 is like minus 1%. The Nasdaq is down 2%. It seems like, I don't know, maybe like the overall market doesn't like what's going on with tariffs and Trumps and all that uncertainties that is going up. Canadian market is about down 1% as well. Of course, it's at opening, so maybe by the time that you listen to this the following day, everything's gonna be like all right. But just to say that over the past few days, it hasn't been a little bit tougher for investors, right? A little bit more uncertainties. The market started to weigh the impact of a lot of like decisions that are being announced, and of course, tariffs. Tariffs. That's kind of crazy. I got so many emails, so many questions for the past 3 months about tariffs, and ironically, we're still not sure what's going to happen yet. I mean, there are about 12 changes per day about what is going to be under tariff, how much is going to be the tariff for, and when it's going to apply. Oh, no, wait, it's not going to apply today. It's going to apply tomorrow. Oh, no, we're going to give you like 30 days or maybe not 30 days. I mean, it looks, in my opinion, it looks like more like a farce than anything else. And it's just create a lot of confusion and, of course, a lot of noise. And we're like, that's pretty much the theme of this show for this 10 minutes. And it's kind of like ironic because I'm doing that 10-minute podcast every morning to cut down the noise. And this guy, Mr. Trump, is creating so much noise that it's even hard to understand what's going on in the investment world and how to position your portfolio. And I get it, like you're afraid of that, and you're scared that a lot of the companies that you're holding are going to crash and burns or going to get seriously hurt by those tariffs. And it is a possibility. It is a valid concern. So the question here is, can you do something? Like, how can you position your portfolio to go throughout those like 12,000 changes of tariffs that are going to happen in the coming weeks, right? So here's the answer, and it's super simple actually. Just buy quality companies, and you know why? Because if you're taking bets and gambles right now, and I've been telling you this for a while now, right now it is not the time to take gambles. It is not the time to say, oh, this company is going to be fine. I'm still going to like it's all going to be working well. Well, no, if like the financial metrics are not great, if the company is not thriving, if the company doesn't show any kind of growth sign, you're taking a risk. You're taking an additional risk because, of course, investing in any company is a risk, but investing in a struggling one that maybe is going to turn around at the end of this quarter or whatever, well, now you're taking major risks. So it's probably not the right time to do that. And instead, you can select companies that shows steady revenue growth, steady earnings per share growth, and steady dividend growth. I mean, dividend triangle. I mean, the solution is there. And when I look at most of the companies I own right now, they do have a solid dividend triangle. That tells me that over the past 5 years, those companies found ways to increase their sales, increase their profit, and increase their dividend, showing confidence in the future. This is the type of business that I want in my portfolio, especially with all those threats and uncertainties that arise thanks to the Trump administration. Those companies, they have a robust balance sheet. They have the means and the tools and the resources to face that storm and adapt. Because it's all about this, right? When you invest in a business, you want a business that is able to adapt, because a business that is not able to adapt, well, it dies. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's like it struggles, it cuts their dividend, and then boom, you're left with a big losses. If you want to know the difference between what you should keep and what you should sell right now before the storm really hits the market, because we're still very far from market correction right now, so there's still a lot of things that you can do. Well, I have a webinar for you next week on next Thursday, the March the 20th. You can go to moosemarkets.com/webinar. We're going to talk about how to clean up your portfolio and why it is so important to do it right now. So all the risks that you're facing that maybe you don't even know, that are like in your blind side, we're going to talk about those. And then we're going to give you a very easy methodology so you can follow step by step to clean up your portfolio and still sell companies that do not belong in your portfolio like right away. So you can go at moosemarkets.com/webinar. There will be a replay. So if you cannot attend to the live event, no worry about it. Just register and then allow us to send you emails. And then right after the webinar is done in the evening, we're going to send you the replay link with all the material that you need to follow those steps. So that's for tariff. Just go for a very robust, well-diversified portfolio, and you're gonna sleep well at night. That's what I do, and I don't intend to take any other modification in this, because seriously, it changes too fast. And on top of that, we don't even know what will be the end game of this and the end result. So there's no point of like going around and trying to reshape your entire portfolio for nothing. Just ensure that you know what you own and why you own it. And those companies are very solid. If they're very solid, you don't have to worry about a thing. The second thing I receive a lot of emails these days is Canada becoming the 51st states. Yeah, we are going to get swallowed by the US. Trump keeps on tweeting about this, saying that they're going to destroy our economy and then swallow our country and making it a state. I mean, I'm telling you, this is the pure definition of noise. And then it creates a lot of uncertainties. Like, and a lot of investors is like, well, what's going to happen if we become like the 51st states? And I'm like, well, maybe you should have also a plan to make sure that you are covered if Russia invades Antarctica and try to control a part of Canada before in the process, because maybe that's going to happen. Maybe like the Chinese government is going to establish in Canada to get our resources as well. So, you know, there are like so many crazy scenarios here that it's just a not good use of your energy and not good use of your time to start thinking about this. On the other side, Canada has a relatively strong economy. We have like other ways to make money. We can reduce, and actually, I think it's a good thing. We're gonna like probably reduce our dependency and exposure to the U.S. We kind of like became complacent over the years and just thinking, oh, we're going to produce whatever and then we're going to sell them to our southern neighbors. Well, now maybe it's time to become more creative, focus more on innovation, and become better businesses to issue more like different partnerships. So it's probably like a long-term good thing for Canada. It's kind of like a wake-up call that I think we needed anyway as a nation. So that could be quite interesting to see how it goes. And I mean, to just end up on that point, ironically, if we would become a state in the US, well, chances are most Canadians would vote Democrats and kind of like create a whole new enemy to the Republican Party. So that's kind of crazy, but I mean, I don't see it as like a plus for the Trump administration in the end anyways. So, and more than that, I have like I'm going to end up with that like small story. You know, a few years ago, my wife was doing her bachelor degree in her 40s. So kudos to her. I'm super proud of her. But in the middle of it, she did like, she had like an exam that did not go well at all. And then we were off for spring break. And during that spring break time, she like highlighted all the scenarios like, well, if I fail, there's no point. I will have to like do like summer classes or do another session. It's going to be too long. Or maybe I can go talk to the teacher and do something else. And she was like piling up on all different scenarios of like what could happen because that exam did not go well. She didn't have like the mark yet. And you know what happened? Well, after spring break, the teacher in question actually was not coming from the same, that teacher did not do a good job at doing the exam, broke her foot, had to cancel her classes, and got replaced by another teacher. The other teacher said, well, that's not a proper exam. We're going to cancel the exam and we're going to do something else instead. So all that fear, all those scenarios that my wife created for a whole week, 100% of them did not happen because she did not plan on seeing her original teacher breaking her foot during spring break and having to quit teaching for a while. So the lesson here is 100% of scenarios you envision will not happen the way you think it will. So why using your time, your energy, your emotion put towards something that you're sure, 100% sure that is not going to happen the way you envision it? Because there are so many factors, so many things that could happen that you cannot even see or think of. Don't waste your time on this. Just use your time and energy somewhere else, and focusing on building a strong portfolio, it's going to be a better use of your time. And if you're looking for a way to do that, well, again, we have this webinar to help you invest with more conviction and build the portfolio that will go through that storm. You can go to moosemarkets.com/webinar to register. It's 100% free. You're going to get the replay. So moosemarkets.com/webinar. All right, guys, that's enough for today. Tomorrow, Moose, you're going to love it. I'm going to go through a sprint of my 20 favorite stocks paying over 4% yield. I always talk about low yield, high growth. Tomorrow, it's all about high yielding stocks that actually grows their dividend, which I love. So, right, Moose, take good care. We're going to talk again tomorrow. And until then, don't forget to stay invested.
Hey, welcome to the disclaimer. If you're listening to The Moose and the Loose, you cannot really expect me to give you buy or sell recommendation or financial advice, right? You're here for fun, you're here for information and some entertainment. But I am not your financial advisor, I am not your broker, so therefore I'm not liable if you're losing money after listening to the podcast. If you're looking for some advice, go see a professional. If not, you can enjoy this show and do your due diligence after it.